Here we go. I should be prepared when I sign on and not be sitting here going, right?
Yeah. I know
I
that
turn
feeling.
I turn the camera on and I'm going like, what is up with that? Hey, I had some good news just a few minutes ago.
What's
Yay.
that?
I'm trying to empty out what used to be our little store, what Grammy, and it was my office too, of course, but I don't have a function for that space. And this house is overwhelming me at the moment with the cost of it. So anyway, I'm thinking of renting that out, but I need to clean it out for that to happen. I've probably got rid of 75% of the stuff out there, but some of the things that are out there are 5 of these big giant military government surplus desks.
Oh,
We hustled them in there. I bought them for $50 up at the government surplus thing a good 25 years ago at least. Brought them home on a car carrier because X number 2 had a car carrier, and we hustled them in here. But let's see, I gave 1 free away a while back, so I got 5 left. And it was, I had them on Marketplace for a while now. And I had them $25, and I did them free for a while and nobody came. So I decided to put money on it. And then I changed it to 20. I suddenly got a message today, a company down in I think it's Gloucester, Mass, is sending a guy to come get him tomorrow. 2 guys. I said, don't send 1 guy. There's no one here that can help you. And they're sending 2 guys, and they better be big strapping men because those desks are more than they're thinking. But she said that this is the secretary setting this up. She said they had ones before. So I'm hoping because they're akin to boat anchors really right now because people don't necessarily want them. What they would be good for is a shop where people don't care. So you're not going to put a nice desk in there, one that all men deal with or something, and out in the shop, and it doesn't matter that it's a desk. They're virtually indestructible unless you leave them outside. I imagine that they would rust because they're metal, but they weigh as much as a car.
Mm.
So anyway, they're coming up to get them tomorrow morning at
Oh,
9. So
that's good.
now problem 2, I've got to empty them all.
Oh,
Right. But I had mostly done that already. But that's going to be awesome because the next theater rehearsals on Saturday, and that'll be quite a difference in the room. That takes out a lot of, yeah, that room, when we first got here and bought this property, that room is 30 feet by 50 feet. It's huge. And it looked huge. And we kept putting stuff in it because it looked so huge, it didn't matter. We had 6 of those big desks in there. We had like 30 bookcases in there, and none of it mattered because we didn't use the space for anything, but people came in and bought some stuff once in a while in the office. But I didn't realize how much we'd had. Oh God. And then of
You
course,
never do.
oh, as soon as my mother left, she was the one that was all in love with doing like a little store. It was never profitable. No matter what I said, she would shut me down. And believe me, I was afraid of her right up till the day she died. I was just certain, even though she couldn't lift her arm, that she could still somehow beat me to death. So, so I didn't do anything until she moved out, and then I started getting rid of everything. But it's been a long slog, I'll tell you. But anyway, we're down to, I'm so happy because now it looks like hope when the 5 desks are out of there. It's going to really look like I can get the rest of it out and, rent it out. That'll be awesome. So,
yeah.
yay, because I wouldn't mind staying here. It's just that it's too much. You know what I mean? My mortgage is like, I don't know, 3,600 a month, something like that. That's
Ooh,
right. That
Wow.
includes property tax and insurance, though. But still, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Right. So if I could rent that out for even a third of that would be fabulous. and I'm right on the main. So there's chances are somebody's going to want it for a retail thing. So yay, it'll be putting up with somebody, which I'm not thrilled about doing, but they'll be putting up with me too. I'm going to be careful who I let in there because I obviously they're going to have access to my property. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but anyway, that'll be fun. So that's what I'm doing after we get off of here. You know, I was hoping to talk about I put in the post invitations. Have you guys had to do invitations for anything?
No.
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 Okay. Um, how about have you done a booth where you set up at a show that was somebody else's? Like, I know you did, Maureen. Like
Yeah. I was
Rotary's
just
having
thinking
a
that.
show, you rented a booth or something like that.
Yeah, and actually I mailed out those postcards. So
Awesome.
yes, yeah, I don't know where it is now, but yes, I remember that now.
Because groups do that though, like churches and Rotary and different groups will have like a fall festival or a Christmas show or even a craft fair and let us as direct sellers rent a booth from them or even the county fair or anything. But did you realize, and this is for people watching the replay too, that they actually expect you to promote that event? They should
Yeah,
tell people because most people I talk to don't realize that as a booth renter, we're responsible for promoting their event too. They're counting on it. They actually count on it and talk about it like we're all doing it, even though they don't say that. So I talk to too many people that they have a disappointing event. And then I say, well, what did you do to promote the event? And they're like, well, no, it was all them there. And I'm like, when you're supposed
Yeah.
to bring your own crowd with you. That's what they're counting on is that you're going to bring your crowd. Everybody else brings their crowd, and then you'll mix crowds. That's what
yeah. I don't know what I did with it. I might have tossed it, but nope, here it is. Well, every year, the Saturday after not every year, the last couple of years, the Saturday after Thanksgiving, they do a shop small Henderson
Oh, nice.
right over right over on our main street here in Henderson. It's called Water Street.
And you
So
did a
they
booth
do
at it?
this, and I sent this, and I took that right off their logo,
Yep.
and then it said, "Come visit Water Street on Saturday, November 25th." And then had the little star thingy, over 100 vendors, kids play area, photo booth, Electric Johnson band, Sunny 106.5, and much, much more. Come see us from 10 to 3. Then hashtag shop small Henderson, hashtag Water Street District, hashtag Vegas events and more, and then Maureen with Avon. And I sent that
Awesome.
out.
And so you sent that to the people you know.
Sent that to the people I know, and I surprised the people that put this on. I sent it to them, and then they went live that night, and they're like, "I can't believe she made this. Look what she did."
No, no, they acted surprised, but I'm telling you, in most cases, when they do an event like that, they expect the vendors to be bringing their crowd with them.
Yep.
That's
I think
part
she
of the
was
thing.
surprised just because I sent this out. Like
Oh,
I sent
right,
this to
right.
them. Yeah. So,
Yeah, because I
and then
bet
I
a
was
lot
gonna
of them are thinking word of mouth or something. Yeah.
yeah, and then I was gonna do it again this year, but they raised the price by $100. I think they raised the price anywhere between $50 and $100. I think I can't remember, but last year it was so cold that I didn't sell anything. And I was like, do I really want to do it again this year? I don't know. I mean, with me not working and not making a lot of money right now,
Hmm.
I have to be very careful with where I spend my money.
Right.
And if I pay $200 or $250 to do a vendor event and I don't make any money, it's not worth it to me. Obviously, not worth it to any of us
You may want to
to do
ask
it.
them, did they increase the price because they're going to run ads or
Oh,
something?
they
They
always
may
run
not have,
ads. They
but I
always run
mean,
ads.
then ask them why the price increased.
Yeah, I'll have to double check to make sure that it did go up. I could be misspoken, but yeah, because I was thinking about because it's right after Thanksgiving and it's people look forward to it, and it's right now it's by our little hockey, not our main hockey
Hmm.
rink, but the little in-town hockey rink. And I was thinking about doing it, but I was like, I just don't know if I can afford it. Like I said, I didn't sell anything.
Right.
And it was so cold. I actually got sick after that.
No.
Yeah.
Well, doing those events, so I think that's something that we all ought to count on is that we'll be promoting our own spot. It just happens to be a spot that other people will be at. So you're going to benefit from the other people's
Hmm.
crowd that they're bringing. That's the idea of it. Now, when you're doing something like that, you did the best case scenario was they already had the graphic made. You just took it off their site, slapped it on a card. That's awesome. I love when that happens. But in general, right? I found this to be funny with the theater company. They got somebody that's a graphic design person, not a marketer, right? And they did the posters to promote the play. I was expecting in big letters the who, what, when, where, and why, because that's a marketing thing, not a graphic thing. And looking at the poster, you got to read a whole bunch of stuff where you get, and it's mixed in a paragraph. It needs to be, I'm just looking at it briefly as I walk out the door of a store because it's on a bulletin board. I need to see it, the whole thing, big letters, you know what I mean? The who, what, when, where, and why in as little amount of wording as possible. And maybe some pictures to make it exciting or some color or something. But putting a story or telling all the stuff about it, or even like this lady combined the fundraising aspect of the theater with the promotion for the play. Too much. Yeah, if you
Mm.
want, maybe stick the QR code in the corner, that's one thing, but she put a whole big thing about it. Now, that's only because she's a graphic artist, I think. The piece looks nice. It's just not appropriate for what we're trying to accomplish, that's all. So I think the reason I'm bringing that up isn't because I'm knocking her. She did what she does. It's because we have to put on a marketing hat and think of the person looking at our piece. So if I'm making a poster that's going to go on a bulletin board at a store, I've got seconds, if that, to get their attention. So it's got to just be the basic stuff. Street fair, October 9th, 9 to 3. That's it, where it is, where it is. That's about it. You can't be putting a whole bunch of stuff. Now on a card, you're not far from doing that either. You've either got to grab what they put, but to me, it's got to be less wordy unless you're using a 2 or 3 panel. If you're just using a 1 panel, either use their thing or make it as short and sweet as you can. What I like to do is if I'm making a invitation or something, I'll use a 3 panel. So I'll make the front exciting, and on the inside is more of the details. Like I'll do a Google Earth shot of the location so they can see. I don't know about you, I may be weird about this, but I look up stuff like that. So, hey, Peg Duchesne, I I look up
Hey,
stuff like that
Rachel.
so that I'll know where I'm going to have to go to park, or I'll know where I'll have to go to set up, or I'll know how close I can get to the building to unpack. I look at that stuff ahead when I go, even if I'm going to stay in a hotel, I look at that stuff ahead so that I'm not walking in blind to a situation. I have some kind of idea. Um, when I'm going to a hotel, I'll look to see if anybody's recorded a video about the entrance or the rooms, so I know what I'm gonna experience when I go in or what the lobby looks like. So I can feel more comfortable about the whole thing. And I think I'm not the only one that does that. So if you give them enough information on the inside where they can do things like that, like maybe there is a video about last year's festival that you're going to, and you can do a QR code to last year's festival so they can get excited. You know, where are you going, Peg Duchesne? I see your.
I'm going between the hospital,
Oh, you're breaking up a little.
It's all right. I'll tell you later.
Oh, okay. I can hear you. You're just breaking up a little bit.
I'm parked.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's all good.
So anyway, let's talk about some of the things that would be good to put on like an invitation, right? You could do my first thought was the QR code for the MapQuest directions or something like that, or a picture of the satellite Earth picture of where we're going, where they're going, something like that. What's something that, or how about like a wedding invitation could be linked to their gift registry, where all they have to do is scan the QR code to go to the gift registry. What
If
kind of,
it's a Halloween party, you could do a Halloween word search.
oh, nice. Yeah, just put the value added stuff that we do on other stuff to make the card more fun. Yeah, that's perfect too. That's awesome. So as far as the who, what, when, where, and how can we make that more interactive?
You know, I
Like,
got a card the other day from somebody, um, and she moved. They moved from, well, you might know her, Peg, Mary Ann. They moved from Hawaii to the States. And she sent me a card with her new address, but she put a um like a fill in the blank kind of thing. And she put a message on the top, and then you had to figure out the letters of the alphabet by
oh,
the number. And she did that. And then she said, let me know what this says by this date. And you're going to go into a drawing for a prize.
oh,
And
that's
I thought
neat.
Oh,
I
neat.
had never thought of that. I thought that was kind of interesting.
So it's
So
kind of
that,
along the Mad Lib lines, or like you were doing
yes.
before?
But I mean,
Yeah.
I did the Mad Libs for the kids back to school, but I didn't think of it for like, you know, me had the teacher brain on, so I did the Mad Libs for the kids back to school. No, actually, it wasn't a Mad Libs thing. It was like the word the. So the line, the three blank lines, and then underneath it was the corresponding number of the letter in the alphabet. So like you had to figure out the numbers in the alphabet to do the word. And it was interesting, and it was something about, I think it said, it came out to be random acts of kindness is what it came out to be.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
I thought that
Oh,
was kind of cool. So that's something, you know, you could
Yeah.
do.
I was thinking if your invitation is about an online thing, you also might want a QR code that goes to the time zone translator or whatever because I've
Yeah.
had trouble in my team thing.
Converter.
I'm sorry, Peg. What'd you say?
I said converter. Yeah.
Converter. Yeah.
Converter.
Converter. Yeah. So, because I've had trouble on my Avon team page. I don't know if they don't know when I put EST, that's Eastern Standard Time. I'm not sure if they don't recognize that's what it means, or they're ignoring that, or I can't believe they haven't run into it before, but I have people that they'll say, why aren't you listing it on all the times? But I guess I thought if I listed it, they have to deal with that all the time with watching TV. So I guess I thought they would know what it was if I just put Eastern, because you don't see many people do that anymore where they put 7 Eastern, 8 mid, where they list all of them. Because most people that don't live Eastern know you have to do that. But maybe the young ones don't know that. I don't know.
mm,
But that's something you might do because it would help anything that would help them find you or uh, do what you like. How about to a Google Doc where you're listing suggested things they bring with them or something like that. Um, I'm trying to think of a thing that would, like if you're running a camp or like a Girl Scout camp or something and you needed to have a packing list, you could do a Google Doc where they get on the QR code and go over to the Google Doc and they can see what it is. But there's a lot of things that you could do with the QR code or screenshots like Google Earth. So I do that Google Earth thing, by the way, for the pickup shed here too. So matter of fact, I sent it to the lady with the desks. So she said, "Where do you live?" And I gave her the address because I know they can get there with the GPS, which I'm assuming they're using, although it's two men. So, so that's not, that was wrong, wasn't it? But so we'll see what time they get here. But anyway, um, you know what I can't wait for tomorrow? Chances are they're going to show up. If they're young, strapping fellas, that'll be one thing. But if they're not, they're going to appear to be young, strapping fellas or want to appear to be. So they're going to be trying their best to hustle that thing out, those desks out. I can,
Yeah.
yeah, that's going to be
So
funny. They're not
you
going to
want to,
want me to think they can't do it.
so you want to see what I've been playing with?
Yes, please.
So I've been playing with I thought about it the other night and I was like, we we send so many birthday cards, but they're after a while to me they become generic because like um my two friends, their daughter's birthdays were the same month. I sent them both the same card because I wasn't thinking about it. And I was like, wait,
Hmm.
that's not fun. So now I got there thinking. So now for the month of October, I've made an October card.
Oh,
And it
nice.
says October birthday facts. Opal birthstone symbolizes confidence. It's the spookiest month. More presidents born than any other month. And it's the 10th month, but is Latin for 8.
Did you make that in Canva or that was in stock cards?
Nope, I made that in Canva.
Nice.
I made
Awesome.
that up in Canva. And then, I did a color page, but I might change the color page.
Oh, I
And then
like it.
again, I did the yearly goals. And then
Hmm.
I went to Chat GPT and did a poem. In October's golden glow leaves dance with the breeze. A birthday blooms like autumn show with joy and gentle ease. Candles flicker in the fall, warmth in every light, celebrating you most of all on this crisp clear night. May your year be full of cheer like October's bright display. Happy birthday, full of cheer on your special day.
Oh, that's
And then
awesome.
the happy birthday message. And I made this in Canva. And I made 3 different copies of this because I've got my first name. I've got one with mine and Sean's name. And then I have one with my full name. And so
Nice.
that's the one. And then I stole your idea for the customer card, and I made this in Canva,
Oh, nice.
Avon Holiday 2024.
Hmm.
And of course, it's got all the pictures.
Nice.
Yep. And then on
That's
the back,
awesome.
it says, kindness is free. Sprinkle that stuff everywhere.
Oh, nice. That's
Oh,
awesome.
that's nice.
And I made this in Canva because
Yeah, I love that.
I didn't want to get too Christmassy because I know not everybody celebrates
Oh,
Christmas.
no,
So
that's awesome.
I thought the tree, and then I did and then where it kind of like did the little S thing, that's where I put like Avon
Hmm.
Holiday 2024.
Oh, I like that.
Mhm.
But now that you go back to it, you said that I think somewhere in here I need to put a QR code to go to my website.
Oh, that would be a good idea.
I mean, well, you know
You
what? I
could
was gonna
just
say
take one of the boxes. You could
I
just
used
put
to
it in
have
one
it
of the
on the
boxes.
back, but because I put this,
Oh,
so
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, well, that's awesome. I love it. That's awesome. You could just put it in one of the boxes.
exactly.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yay. And you know, I wouldn't worry about the people getting it. Um I'm sure somebody might be offended, but you know what? I send stuff out that actually says the word Christmas, and nobody has ever said bupkis to me. Um, I think that we all are afraid somebody's going to say something just because it's a hot topic on Facebook. But I think most people are polite enough not to say anything.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. But
Yeah, so I just did
right,
holiday. I was like, it is a holiday. So,
right, right. Well,
so
sometimes I put holiday if I know like I'm going to be including New Year's because then it's the holiday season. It's paid right, and plus I send my cards out way past that, so
yeah.
I just send so many days. I'm still working on the uh the play one. I've got the new version of the play one. Let me show you that. And I'm doing 4 a day out of my 10, I think. And I've sent dozens here already. But I started with their list that they gave me. Sorry, that's not helpful when I'm doing that. They gave me this list and it had 50 something businesses in town. And then I started dipping into my list. So what I did was I pull up the card. It's in custom cards. They're right on the front. And I've sent these all on my 10 a day. All of them. I just started early and sent often, right? Right. But I did all what they gave me, added them to my database and sent all theirs. Then I started down here with, I searched in the contact manager for my zip code 03281. That's where the play is in my town. So I literally have dozens and dozens of people from town because when I ran for state rep, I had to get people to fill out a petition to sign for me and get certified. And I kept all of their name and address and phone. They had them on the form that the state required. So that was part of our procedures. When I went and got some or they got mailed to me or whatever, I had Liza enter them all in SendOutCards. And the reason I did it wasn't so that I knew later on I was going to be promoted to play because I didn't know any of that. But almost always when I have information like that, I'm able to use it another way. And sure enough, this is years later. I need all those people from town to know that we're doing this play. And I'm doing a lot of different things, but it certainly helps to have some people that I know when they get the card and see that it's from me, that they know me. They know me well enough to open the card because they signed for me at some point to be on the ballot. So they at least recognize my name. And they evidently are not offended by me or they wouldn't have bothered to sign, right? So that's a plus. Where if you bulk mail, you're just getting everybody. This is actually people that already know me. So I like the odds of that better. So I've been doing depending on how many other cards I've got to do. Right now I've got 4 my other categories because I'm still on I can do 10 a day included, but I'm doing this is my LinkedIn card. I'm not LinkedIn, Linktree card, Avon info only, which that's been working for me too, because uh, evidently I don't know what the criteria is at Avon, but you have to have so many yourself personally, and then they'll give you some. And I just got a bunch the other day, so it's got to be that I had enough personally. So that's what happened, and I'm down to the L's in that. And then I've got the HempWorks list and the Avon customers. I'm working that list with my new pictures from the convention. So that's 4.
That's
And then
cool.
I'm making up 4 more off of this list. So that's 8. And then I saved the other 2 ones that are included because I usually, like today, I had an Avon order and I need to send a thank you card. And yesterday I had a HempWorks order. I need to send a thank you card. So I'm saving at least 2 a day. Sometimes I have to save more than that to do the thank you cards.
Oh, speaking of thank you
Mhm.
cards, last week, was it last week? Anyway, I can't remember. My car had a recall that needed to be taken care of. So they came and picked up my car and they gave me a complimentary car wash and they brought my car back to me.
Wow.
But they damaged my front license plate because in Nevada you have to have a front license plate. And they broke the plastic ring got broke and the license plate got bent. And I said to them, it wouldn't be a big deal if it wasn't a handicap plate and I have to have it on the car. And then I noticed there was a couple of scratches, but I said to them, I'm not accusing you. I don't know if you did it. I don't drive every day like I used to, so I don't know where all the stuff is. I said, so I'm not saying you did it, but can we check the pictures to see? And they called me later that night, and the next day I had to bring the car down. Not only did they fix my license plate, they buffed out all of the
Oh,
scratches
nice.
because they weren't 100% sure. They couldn't tell from the pictures. So the guy said, the manager said, let's just buff them out and then we'll get them. And he says, they did the bumper as much as they could, but they think I've been hit again. They think my bumper got hit again. So I came home that night and I sent a thank you card to the manager and I
Nice.
sent a thank you card to the lady that scheduled everything. Because, they could have said, oh yeah, we see it right here in the picture. It's not our responsibility. But he's like, you're here, let's just get it taken care of and
Oh,
we'll
that's
fix it.
smart of them, right? And that's smart of you too, because that's smart of them just to deal with it without arguing with you, because they've got guys sitting around that can just buff that out for you. So even if they think it's your fault, they're better off just to deal with it if it's not going to cost them money, especially. So that's
Mhm.
awesome. And that's
Yep.
smart of you too, because then you didn't look like Karen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You were grateful for them taking care of it. Yeah, I
Yep.
shouldn't say Karen, should I, Donna? I hate to have the name Karen, right?
I
I
know.
had somebody say that to me. She said, "Oh, I hate my name being Karen now because everybody says Karen." Like, oh,
Yeah, I know. I felt so bad for the Karens when that came out. But yeah, I was like, you know what? They they went above and beyond because, they could have said, we can't tell or whatever. So he took care of everything.
well, it was
And
smart that you level-headedly said it to them too, though, because just think of I would say half the people, I hate to be cynical like that, but half the people call up their rant and raving because they're sure they won't do it. And they're
yeah,
just trying from the get-go to bully them into fixing it. And you didn't do that. You just went in there and said, here's my pictures. This is a problem. And I think that's probably the reason they took care of it. If you were
yeah,
yelling and screaming, they probably wouldn't have been so likely to do it.
yep.
So
And
you
I
both did
and
the
I
smart thing.
yeah, and I told them all, I said, I'm not accusing anybody. I said, I used to drive every day. Now I don't leave my house for days on end. So I don't know the ins and outs of my car anymore like I used to. Because when I used to work, I'd park in the Walmart parking lot. So I was always looking at the car to see what new dent I had, So, and I, like you said, I think they appreciated that because I was coming across where it was like, I don't know whose fault this is. I don't know, you know,
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
yeah,
And that was smart to send a thank you too. That was
yeah. And I
very
sent one to both of them, the lady that did all the scheduling and to the manager.
awesome. I gotta
Yeah.
look to see about the desk thing because I did send a card to the last thing I sold on Marketplace, and I can't remember what it was even, but I
Was it
sent her a
those
card.
lights, those Christmas things?
Oh yeah, those Christmas trees.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. I didn't hear from her, but I didn't expect to. So that, yeah, but I pretty much can guarantee you that she hasn't gotten a card for purchasing on Marketplace before. And that's the point of it. You know what I mean? Is to
Mhm.
be stand out with your marketing. And to me, that makes a difference. So I'm going to see tomorrow if I can't get either that likely they're going to be in the company truck. So I'll just take a picture of the
Oh,
outside
yeah.
because she was saying they're going to schedule it and come up. Um, I said to her, she didn't say um, what she had, but I said to her, this isn't a pickup situation. You've either got to have a car carrier and a long one, or something bigger, like a 1 ton or something bigger, because 5 desks is a lot. They're huge and it's
Yeah.
going to take up a lot of room. They got to have something big. So my guess is they're going to show up in a big truck that they do deliveries with or something. That would be my guess. It's not my problem, but it's going to be my guess. So chances are, if they're in a truck, it's going to have their stuff on the side of it,
So
which will make.
you're gonna be home tomorrow? You're not going down
Oh,
town?
I know. Well, that's another story all in itself, isn't it, though? Right.
But you're
Yeah.
still smiling, so it's a
Oh, no, 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 no. We're not having any problems or anything. No,
okay.
but going every single weekend for the last year has been a little bit unsustainable. I'm killing myself. Right. I said, as much as I hate to admit this, I've got to slow this down a little bit.
Yeah.
So we're
Yeah.
gonna try the every other week situation is because right, I'm killing myself. Well, it's like I only had 4 days here really because I went back on Sunday, then I had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday was a short day because I had to go to sleep early to get up Friday. that's not enough time to get everything I need done here. So I've got to stay here more often because the play, for starters, right?
Yeah.
Stuff's going bad in the house that I got to take care of because it's just me dealing with the house. So, right, that was a tough pill to swallow to tell him, oh, sorry about this, but that was a little unsustainable, me coming every weekend. So,
Yeah.
but it's killing me because I want to go. I want to go back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, we're not having a problem or anything. It's not, and it's financial too. It costs a lot of money to go that far all the time, but it's just I'm not getting enough done here. And when you're a one-man show, you gotta get it done. So yeah. The play's only like 6 weeks from now,
Oh,
which
wow.
is right, right.
Mhm.
So this is the one I've been sending. This is the one I was marking the list with. And I'll go over this again, even though we did talk about this, but um, they wanted to send out and I'm telling you the difference, not because I'm knocking them. They don't know that most of the people that I'm talking to that are on committees that are volunteers for stuff, marketing is not their thing, right? It's my thing. That's why I need to say, well, that's awesome, but let me see if I can't, tweak it a little bit to see if we can't get a little bit more attention for it or something. And hopefully, if you're doing stuff, because you're in direct sales, marketing is your thing too, whether you believe it or not, because that's how we get sales is the marketing aspect. So we think about that all the time. So they wanted to send a 4-page typewritten black letters on white paper in a white envelope. And this is what I sent instead. Right. But this is the logo she came up with, which I love. This isn't the one they went with, but it's the one I like. Right. That they're finding out the hard way that I don't do well by committee. So they're like, I don't remember that being voted on. I'm like, it was. I had the one vote, right? But I know. And sometimes I agree to stuff and then do what I wanted anyway, which is that's also being bratty myself. But if I get the job done, they usually forgive me afterward. So I did use her logo. I love this particular one. I like it black and white because we're dealing with historical plays. And I think this looks like a history logo more than a colored one does. It says
Yeah.
we're a community theater, by the way, and this is the town hall in our town, and it's one of our historic buildings. And this is where the plays are. So it just all fits. It's just nice. But my whole marketing strategy is whoever's looking at our stuff is going to see someone they know and say, "Ooh, you're in that, or Bill's in that, or June's in that. I want to go see Bill in that. I want to support them because they're awesome." So I tried to put lots of pictures. This is the cast from the first year. On the back is the cast from the second year. Here's some of the shots. I take pictures all the time when we're rehearsing, when we're doing stuff, when the play's out. I took a million pictures and Kenny was always making fun of me, but now I have a whole library to choose from when I'm doing something. This one, for example, this guy was in the first play. Liza that worked in my office, this is her husband. And
Oh.
he's how old is he? He's got to be 70 something. And he worked at the town dump, which they call the transfer station here. He worked there for a good, I don't know, 20 years. Everyone knows him. So I wanted to make sure I put him in there. It's because I want people to get this, open it up and go, oh God, Bill was in the play? That's awesome. I want to go see Bill because Bill's in this year's play. And then some of them, they had their period costumes. These were from the one we did that was the pine tree riot, the 1800s. So they're in their costumes. But it was just an easy to have as many pictures as I could. So when you're doing stuff, and even if you don't think you're going to need it, document everything with pictures. Like even if you're going to do a booth at a fair, take a bunch of pictures of the other people's booths or of what they did, the organization did, or save the graphic that you put on the card, because you may need that next year for that same event, or you may need to go back and look at that and say, they had a good idea the way they set that up. I'll set mine up like that because that turned out all right. But usually I save all that stuff and document with pictures and all that stuff so that I have something to work with when I have to create something else. Okay. So like the first year, I can't believe I had a brainstorm and asked a guy that I saw on Facebook to take drone pictures. And the idea was they were going to take drone pictures of the cast out on the lawn. That didn't happen because they made the performance and everybody in their costume at a time the guy wasn't going to be there. And I thought, well, we'll just take it of whoever's outside or whatever. And I didn't realize my favorite shot isn't of the cast, it's of the line of people stretched way down the street and around the corner, waiting to get in to see the play. This is my favorite picture, and it's a drone shot that I didn't expect to get. And when matter of fact, I never met that guy. He showed up. I messaged him on Facebook. He showed up and did the job. He didn't get paid for it. He did it free because he's in his historical society over in Rochester. And he texted me the shots, and that was it. And I sent him a card and some brownies, and I send him cards periodically because he does other photography, and I sent him his pictures on cards. And last Christmas, he even sent me one of his calendars.
Wow.
So we have a thing going. He only didn't do last year's play, the drone, because he already was booked doing something else. But you just don't know, I think, when you come up with, because I came up with that idea and it wasn't even the idea that I had that worked. The idea
But
I
it was
had didn't
better.
happen.
But it
It ended up being better.
came out
Yeah,
better. Yeah.
because I wish you could have seen, I almost peed my pants when I opened up my phone and this was in there because I had no idea the line was like that. I mean, I knew we had a line and I knew that was cool, but I had no idea that this picture happened. I didn't see the drone doing it. I didn't, none of that. And this is my favorite shot. I've used it on a whole bunch of stuff. So,
Yeah.
but so, and the pictures too, when I went, we had a meeting ahead uh, with Connie is the playwright and Kenny is the director. So it was me, Connie, and Kenny are the three that have been the same on each play. And so before this one happened, we had a pizza meeting with me, Connie, and Kenny to get Rev back up for the next one. And I was taking pictures and doing stuff. And Kenny always rolls his eyes because he doesn't do social media at all. So he doesn't even know why I do that. He's hilarious. But it makes a difference because I have something to talk about. I have a story going on, and then I can use those pictures later and stuff. So, but it's funny because I had to have the talk with everybody. You were going to hear this if you start doing it. Kenny's like, I don't like having my picture taken. And I say, buckle up, Cupcake, because this isn't about you. It's about the play. If you want people to come see the play, they got to have a story, a reason to want to come. And you're part of that story, you like it or not. So just sit there and smile and go along with your life because I'm gonna take your picture.
But I know how he feels. I hate having my picture taken, but somebody said to me once, having your picture taken has nothing to do with you. It has to do with the future generations. And they were talking to me about the grandkids. Well, what about your grandkids?
Well,
You
even
want,
the other people in the picture,
yeah. But they're
because
like,
yeah.
because I have 3 pictures of my grandfather. That's it.
Oh,
Just
geez.
3. And
Yeah.
I was like, and he's been gone. Grandpa's been gone 32 years now because he passed a month before my daughter was born.
Wow.
And I only have 3 pictures of him. And in my world, my grandfather was like my dad. My grandfather was very, very important. As a matter of fact, my daughter's named after him. I mean, that's how important he was to me. And to only have 3 pictures of him, I'm like, wow. So now I'm
Yeah.
trying to do the more pictures and trying
Yeah.
to so that the grandkids and then their kids, if they decide to have kids, their kids can, this is my grandma. This is,
Well, and for
so,
work, it's people can relate to someone they see all the time.
yes.
If they can't see you, they're not as apt, I think, to buy from you, in my
Yeah, that's
opinion.
why as
And they're
much as
not
I
looking for
hate it,
perfect. They just want you to be relatable.
as much as I
Yeah,
hate
I
it,
like
that's why
that
I have
picture.
that.
No, I
I
like
have,
that picture. You don't like that picture?
I don't like that picture.
Oh,
I just don't
why
like
don't you take another one?
having, I just don't like having my picture taken. And it was my entire life. Well, I shouldn't say my entire life, probably for about 10 or 12 years, I hated my nose. I
Oh,
hated
yeah.
it. And I was like, when I turn 18, I'm getting a nose job. And then of course I didn't get a nose job. And then after my grandfather passed, somebody said to me, you know, you have your grandpa's nose. Now I love my nose. It's like my nose is my favorite thing.
One of the other speakers in the National Speakers Association gave me a reality check about that. She's like, you're making a fuss about having your picture, and you need to grow up because the picture's not really about you. It's about the person you're taking the picture with. And if they're wanting to be like you or whatever, you're just not making this a pleasant situation.
Yeah.
And she had a good point. I mean, she was
Yeah.
kicking me in the ass and I needed it. But it's true. I mean, when people are taking a picture, and what I do now to make it more comfortable is like you'll notice down in Boston, I'm the one that took the pictures because to me it's just easier. Some people come up and say, "Oh, can I have my picture with you?" Hold on a second while I dig my phone out of my bag. Hold on a second while I figure out how to do the selfie. Hold on a second. And then I just have my phone in my pocket all ready to go. And I'll say, "Hey, come over here. Let's do a selfie together." I'll tag you in it. I
Yeah.
just do it. I just grab everybody myself now because then I have more control over what the picture looks like and how long it takes to take it.
You know,
All I know
when
about
we
them
were in
being
San
up west
Antonio, I had
coast.
had my picture taken with Steve Boston, and I had left my selfie stick in the hotel because I couldn't get it to work. So I was having trouble trying to get the picture. So he's like, "Hey, did you know you can just push your buttons on the side of your phone and it takes the same thing?" Because I kept trying to push the button on the front because obviously I don't take a lot of selfies. I mean, I take more now than I did then, but so in one of the pictures I have, you see me looking at him like this going,
Yeah, that was
Oh,
that
I
was
didn't know that
funny.
either.
yeah, that's what he told me. He's like, and he showed me, and he's like, I don't remember which ones he pushed, but because I have an Android, so I have 3
Yeah, I
buttons.
like to hold it like this and then do it that way, put my thumb and hold it up. I like to hold it up. Most
Yeah,
people don't hold the phone up because you less chins that way, really.
yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And somebody asked me one time, why do you always wear your hair in a ponytail? And I said, well, first of all, I live in Nevada, but second of all, I don't like the front of my hair. For some reason, the front of my hair, it gets in my face too much and I don't like it. And I don't always want to put it up. It's just easy for me when I get out, after I get out of the shower, I put up in a ponytail. And somebody said, and I just looked at this woman because she said, well, there's a way you could fix that. And I said, how? She goes, just cut your hair really, really short. I said, do you see my face? My hair really, really short does not go good with my face
Why it looks really short now.
because it's in a ponytail.
I know, but if you
Yeah,
always wear it that way, it's the
yeah.
same
Well,
thing.
that was the thing. And I was like, because to me, I was like, she was insulting me. I thought she was
Oh
insulting
God,
me.
no.
And it was just so funny. So, but there's a reason well, number one, I live in, but you know what, ladies, it's only 85 here today, right now.
Oh, you're probably happy as
Yeah,
I would
but
say pig in shit, but pig in a nice cold bath.
But we have, yesterday it was really bad, but today seems a little better, but we had all the smoke from the fires.
No, that's right. I
We
saw your
had,
post.
oh, it was
Yeah.
bad. I went outside yesterday to get the mail, and I could taste,
Dude.
I could taste it.
Well,
It was really, really bad. But right now it's only 85. Yes.
wow. Well, you're gonna laugh what it is here because it's not 85. I can trust me on that. Well, actually, it's 77. That ain't bad. But
That's not
last
bad.
night it was 48. It was where that's
Ooh,
what we're doing now is 40 and 50 at night and 70 during the day, which is
yeah.
perfect. That's my favorite. That is my
Yes.
favorite.
Like I said on the Tuesday call, that's why we live here, is the fall and but it gets hot early. I mean, sometimes it gets hot. It starts getting up in the 90s as early as March.
Oh, you want to laugh? So Bib says to me, "Are you guys snowed in yet?" I'm like, well, and I was like gonna give him crap about it, but then I remember that year that we got 2 feet of snow on Halloween and it didn't go away.
Yeah.
So I can't really say much, right? I don't remember because it's 50-50 odds, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Although, that whole thing, the Yonkers whole thing last year, so I almost was very consistent the whole year. I went every weekend and I actually didn't have a problem. It just happened that the snowstorms and stuff were on different days and I was able to get down there and back every weekend. So that's like one of the odds,
Yeah.
right? Right,
I
right.
remember I remember, Lisa, one year when I lived there, when I lived upstate, I can't remember the year, but it started snowing the day before Christmas Eve, and it did not stop snowing until Christmas or the day after Christmas.
Yeah,
And then the following
that
week for New
happens.
Year's, it did the same thing. It
Yeah.
started snowing the day before, and I lived on the third floor of my apartment building, and you looked out and the snow was almost covering the second floor windows.
Yeah.
And it was I just remember those days.
Yeah, I sit
And
here and go, why do I live here?
well, and I told Sean the other day, because him and I have been kicking around the idea of about moving back there. Um, and I said to him, I think I want to move back to New York. And he's like, why? And I said, you know why? Because of the grandchildren. That's the only reason I would go back to New York. But even before I left New York, I couldn't handle the winters. My body just couldn't handle. I've been out of the snow now for 20 plus years. I honestly don't think I could handle it. And he's a fall risk because he's got a drop foot and he has some, the titanium rod. So
Yeah.
for those of you who have ever met him, or haven't met him, because my husband has a titanium rod and they never fixed it the way they should have anyway, long story, he kind of walks with his head down. He doesn't look up. And so he's a very big fall risk. So I'm like, but why would I want to move back to New York? But it's because of the grandchildren. I want to be with my grandchildren.
Well,
So
it's not too bad if you get somebody else to do the shoveling and plowing because I don't
yeah.
do that. Yeah, and then it you just have to count on this. Some days you're not leaving the house,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So other
Yeah.
than that, yeah, I
Yeah.
gotta
I
start
worry
putting
about,
my make sure my van's in the garage. That's
yeah.
coming up because as soon as it starts freezing, I want the van in the garage. I don't want to. I'm done with digging my van out of a snow pile. That I'm done with.
Well, when I lived back there, I used to work for a department store. For those of you that live on that coast, do you remember Ames department
Yeah,
store?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I used to work for Ames department store, but I worked the morning shift. So I would go in at 5 a.m. because I would unload the trucks and stuff. One morning I went out and I dug my car out and I started my car and I ran back in the house and I grabbed Frankie and to take her to my mom's. I come back out and the snowplow had come through and plowed me all back in.
Oh yeah,
And I
yeah,
was like,
Yeah, they were notorious for that.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I was like, are you kidding me? I was like,
Last year Alex had a roommate for a while. That didn't last because she had to go, right? Right. And I forgot what she gave me a hard time about something. I said, you need to go. But anyway, the that meant 3 cars. I have a 2-car garage. So we had a little meeting and I said, I'm not sure if you've done the math yet, but there's 3 cars in the yard. There's a 2-car garage and mine is going in. So however you two want to sort it out, your problem, but I'm paying the bills. I'm not digging my car. Yeah, that is not one of the choices. So you two can duke it out amongst yourselves, but not. Right. And my kid hadn't ever dug his car out. So he's like, I don't mind. It wouldn't be that bad. I'm like, oh, gonna have fun with that. He got stuck a bunch last year. I'm hoping we're not going to repeat that whole thing this year.
Well, do you want to hear what an evil child I am?
Uh-oh.
The first year I left New York, we lived in Arizona. We lived in Tucson. And Tucson is warmer than it is here in the winter. So the very first year that I lived there, the first month of December, I would call my mom every morning. She'd be at work and I'd leave a message on her voicemail. Hi, Mom, I just wanted to let you know I was able to hop in the car and just drive today. Hi, Mom, I just wanted to let you know we're going to barbecue for dinner tonight.
Oh, that's mean. That is mean.
I didn't realize she
You
stayed home
are
one.
not awesome. That is not
So-
awesome.
So I didn't realize she was home one day and I called it. She answered the phone and my mother, she is so funny. She's like, you little
Oh.
yeah, that's what.
Oh,
So then
Your mother
she
will drop
came.
an F-bomb? Whoa.
Oh, my mom
that's
dropped the F-bomb.
awesome.
And
Oh.
so she came out the following Christmas and spent Christmas with us. And she's like, oh, I could get used to this.
Right. Right. That's funny. I've stopped listening once you said your mother was willing to drop you. Because my mother would not say even if her mouth was full of it, she would not. No,
Oh,
no,
no.
no, no. She never
I mean,
swore.
it's
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
far
no.
they're far and few between. I mean, it's not like she does it in every conversation, but
Right.
when she just gets to that,
Yeah.
she'll say it because she got tired of me telling her how wonderful the weather was. You know, hey, Mom,
You
I'm
know,
wearing shorts today, or hi, Mom, I'm wearing short sleeves.
you know what I thought was funny? So my mother, her sister, her younger sister, my mother's the oldest. I don't know if you've seen that movie yet, the JD Vance, the vice presidential candidate. You should see it whether you like him or not is irrelevant. It's a good movie. It's called Hillbilly Elegy. I swear to God, it's about my family. And that grandma in the movie, Mima or whatever her name is in the movie, she is a twin to my Aunt Nancy. Her favorite word is the F word. She couldn't be more opposite of my mother. It's hilarious. Chain smoking since she was like 12, hard drinking, beating people at the bar and all kind of stuff. She is the opposite of my mother. It is hilarious, but she could be that woman in that movie. Oh my God. I wonder what matter of fact, she had a stroke a few years ago and doesn't talk, except I figured for sure she'd be able to say the F word because that is her favorite word. And she doesn't say the F word anymore, but she does say in her gravelly voice, she says, son of a bitch. She about can't say nothing else, but she can say that. So if you go see that movie, it's not really about don't think of it as about the Republicans or any of that stuff. It's not. It's a good movie about hillbillies and people raised in Kentucky in the Appalachian Trail and the sister state over here in New Hampshire and West Virginia. So me and Bib both have families that are just like the people in that movie. It's hilarious. Yeah, I don't know how come my mother's not like that, but she wasn't ever like that, like my Aunt
That's
Nancy is.
That's so
But
funny.
but anyway, yeah, I'm glad you guys came for an hour of chatting, but hopefully we talked about, I know we didn't show a card today. Now, the reason I had YouTube inform me that they took down one of our trainings because I showed someone's personal information. And I did that on a bunch of them. So I didn't know that was a wrong thing to do. But if you need help, if you're listening to this, I know you guys send cards already, but if you need help and can't figure it out, it's pretty intuitive. But if you can't, just let me know and we can get on a Zoom and do it privately and not on the recording
Yeah.
because they don't want me to put personal information. I didn't think it was a thing anymore personally because whitepages.com,
Mhm.
you would have to try pretty hard not to have your information out there. So if it's
Yeah.
shown in a video, I didn't see how that was a huge problem,
Yeah.
but they're probably just trying to CYA. So I
Yeah.
am going to put the replay up on YouTube as always. But if you have a question, need help, just direct message me or email me and we'll set up a time to get on Zoom together and I can share screen and we can figure it out together. But it is
And
pretty good. Go ahead.
when you stop recording, can you hang around for like 2 or 3 minutes? I just have a quick question.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do that right now. And thank you
Okay.
everybody very much. I appreciate you spending the time. Thank you. And we will talk to you later.
Bye.